All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Industry Week. I am so excited about tonight. Some would arguably say that we saved the best for last, but I can tell you right now, the brothers that you will have an opportunity to hear from tonight have definitely served well. They've served our country, and they're going to serve you tonight as well. So get ready. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just drop sevens in the chat if you can hear me well, whether you're streaming with us live on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever in the world you may be. Just drop 777s in the chat. That will let me know that the audio is good, that the visuals are good, and we are ready to rock and roll. Listen, we have been cutting up for Industry Week this week. So many lives have been blessed by the information that they were able to hear, the stories that were shared, and the impact that is being made inside of this amazing, incredible space. And I believe so many people are looking for what we have right now. So with that being said, I'm so excited. Okay, perfect. You guys got the sevens coming in. YouTube is coming in very strong. If you're watching on Facebook, here's what I want you to do right now. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to my phone and we're going to share it to groups. We're going to share it to those we know, love, and trust, because we know this conversation is going to be powerful. And we don't want anyone to miss out on what it is that you're going to experience tonight. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the finale, okay? I know some people are a bit upset about that. This is the finale, but you are definitely going to want to share this to everyone. Share it to groups, share it to people individually. Just get everybody you know, love, and trust in front of this information, because I know they're absolutely going to be blessed. All right, guys, so welcome. I've taken a moment. I'm sharing it out to a few more people. I'm sharing it out. Now, for those of you who are members of Rich University, you have unique links for people to get started, right? We're doing group economics. So make sure that as you're sharing it out, that you go ahead and just put in your link. Let them know why they want to get started with us, and encourage them to do a CTA, which is a call to action, to click your link when it's time to get started. With that being said, my name is Ambassador Dr. Chyna Bethley. I am the founder of Rich University. We are a faith-based accredited institution that's leading the way in wealth creation. We help affluent women and men elevate economically based on kingdom principles. And tonight is going to be supernatural. We are focused tonight, Industry Week, on military, people who have served our country in such an incredible way that is now continuing to make impact in their communities and in their families through Rich University by leveraging AI technology and cryptocurrency, in many cases, even digital marketing. In fact, many of you heard about Industry Week because someone decided to share a flyer on social media. And so you were able to get that information. We want to show you tonight on how we're leveraging these technologies, AI technology, cryptocurrency, and digital marketing to get to the right side of this wealth transfer. So with that being said, drop in the chat where you're connecting in from. We love shouting you out. Drop in your cities, your states, your country, your continent. Let us know where in the world you are. Drop it in. We love shouting you out. Once again, we see you guys are showing up on YouTube. We see you guys are showing up on Facebook. We see you guys are definitely in the house. Welcome once again. Go ahead and continue to tag those you know, love, and trust. Get them in the room. They're definitely going to appreciate you sharing this with them, whether they're out and about or whether they're home and just enjoying the evening. Go ahead and get them in the room right now. We're going to bring up the first special guest that is going to be sharing with us what it is that they do, their background in the military, and why they saw value of being a part of this amazing community, Rich University, and leveraging AI technology and cryptocurrency. The first up, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we need a drum roll, okay? Or some type of a sound effect, right? I feel like we need a drum roll for this first gentleman that's coming up. Is none other than Dr. Yarnell Russell. How you doing, my brother? Welcome. We're excited to have you here for Industry Week.
What's going on, Dr. Chyna? How you doing? I'm super excited as well.
Well, you look mighty dapper over there. I'm just loving you showed up with team spirit for sure today. I'm excited. You just look like somebody that I would want to work with. So I appreciate you being here. And even more importantly, I appreciate how you served our country. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Bethley family. We appreciate your commitment, your dedication, and serving us all. So God bless you and salute.
Wow. Well, Again, my name is Doctor. They call me Dr. Chef Yarnell Russell. I'm a retired Master Sergeant from the United States Army, where I served 31 years in the Army, and I had three major deployments. I went to the first Gulf War, then Iraqi freedom, and Afghanistan. And the good Lord saw it fit to bring me back in one piece with my mind. Right? So here I am. And it's just a beautiful thing to be able to benefit from God's glory, to be here in front of you, Dr. Chyna, to be able to speak on behalf of the military service. So, after I served, right when I got ready to retire, I was looking for the next thing, because that's what we do. We retire and then we go into the government work or something close to that. And I got serious about being, in a wealth management type of group, right? So I learned how to have a skill that actually paid me what I was getting paid while I was in the military. So I paralleled, I basically made a lateral move, and that was into a community which happened to be Rich University, right?
Before you go so deep into that, because I'm so interested in this segue, because I heard Master Sergeant.
Roger that.
Wow. So just because I'm interested, guys. We're gonna have some candid conversation. I believe all of those of you that are watching that have known Dr. Chef Yarnell Russell. We put all the titles together, right? Dr. Chef Yarnell Russell, for quite some time, are going to be really intrigued with the story. So I just want to go deeper in your story, if you don't mind. Even before transition into Rich University, what did that look like? What you enlisted to the military, and then how do you become a Master Sergeant? What does that process take?
Wow. Well, you have to go through the ranks, right? I actually started as a private, as an E1, right? And I made it to the rank of E8. There's only one more rank after me, and that's E9, right? Wow. So by my continued service in all the schools that I attended while I was in, of course, every school, and I'm proud to say this, every military school that I attended, I graduated with honors. Every last school through the military. And, it was almost like a fast track after a while, but, through my many travels and being stationed at different locations, I was placed in charge of a lot of soldiers at several times in my career. And the most proud moment for me was when I got to take my troops to Afghanistan and bring them back all safely in one piece. That was a proud all of them in one piece. And that was a proud moment for me. And the other moment that I hold fast to was when I was selected to take care of a family who had a soldier who had their loved one, their son, actually committed suicide. And I was in charge of taking care of that family. And I was attached to them for 9 months. It was the most rewarding duty that I've ever had since being in the military. So, I just, I relish in those moments, where I got a chance to work with a lot of people, a lot of soldiers. But, it was because of my leadership. And see, that's what we talk about here. My leadership, I credit, my leadership style after my very first sergeant, First Sergeant Sanders. He was an outstanding leader. He was fair. He led from the front, and he knew how to command the troops. So everybody, had respect for him. And I still, to this day, keep in touch with that first sergeant. He's in his 70s now. I still keep in touch with him because he impacted my life and made me the leader that I am today.
Wow. So even in military, and I think that's so powerful because of the structure, the systems that you gain from being in the military, leadership has to be very important. Being able to lead yourself, being able to lead people. But now you're talking about leading people into a war zone, into Afghanistan, and being able to safely bring them all back. That right there is next level, because I can only imagine the emotions that are rising, the conditions that you got to be in to still think clearly and make decisions quickly, knowing that people's lives are at stake. Now, you mentioned your mentor or your first sergeant. What's the difference between a first sergeant and a master sergeant? Is it a rank in that process as well?
Same rank, exact same rank, except for you get a diamond inside of your rank, which signifies first sergeant, right? And so you take on a leadership role. I was in a first sergeant role for quite a while during my career. And then, master sergeant is that rank. It's just that when you get the diamond put in, it converts to first sergeant. So same pay, same rank, just a different title.
I got you. That's amazing. Well, we appreciate you serving. I don't want to be selfish and take up too much time for me being intrigued about your story. I just think that these platforms open up an opportunity for dialogue a little bit differently to hear more. We see you inside of this space as a phenomenal leader serving. I can see a lot of the attributes that you came to this space with, that you are, able to share, and we are able to glean from, and we understand even more now why the other things that you did prior has really paved the way and helped to build you to become who it is that you are today. So we appreciate you. So, okay, you leave the military, you come back home in one piece, your right mind, all of your limbs. First of all, glory to God for that, like you said, because
Amen.
I mean, how many wars have you been in? Multiple wars or multiple, situations that you have to go into? How many places have you traveled to? And I know you speak a lot of languages.
Right. Arabic, I speak a little bit of Arabic, a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Korean. So it's because of all the places I've been in. Yeah, I did. I just said, may God bless you, lady or ma'am. Right. I just said that in the Korean language. But because I've had the opportunity to work with so many different nationalities and people, I'm a language person, so I'll pick up the language wherever I go. So, I've been as far as Kuwait. Of course, I named the 3 war zones I was in: Korea, Germany, various places within the United States. And then through that, some travel has allowed me to travel abroad as well, places like Spain and Italy. Just to name a few, but it's those travels that have allowed me to be shaped in the way that I am, in the manner that I am. And because I am I'm a people person, because of it, right, I'm able to really relate to other people. And that's how, building this community, it has been a result of my career, right? Being able to talk to so many people and touch so many people's lives and their families. Because you got to think, when you're in a position of leadership, you get integrated with the families. Okay. It's not just about the soldiers. It's about the soldiers and their families. So you get to know husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, grandparents, kids by name, and they know who you are. So this community alone has allowed me to basically just transfer what I was doing over there to here, right? And that's why I like what we have here is structured. Same as, to me, it's like the military. We have a chain of command per se, if you think about it, because you're in a leadership role, right? So we have almost like a chain of command like we do in the military. And that's why I believe most military people who see this get it really fast. That's why you have a lot of military within our organization, because it correlates, right?
It correlates. I remember even with the core values that, how we structure our presentation now with mission and core values, and those things were important to me, because we were all, if you remember, we went to Las Vegas a few years ago, and I remember when we were in the pool, we were out there, it was so much fun. We all had on the rich blue, and people kept asking, who are you guys? What do you do? They were mesmerized. And at that time, if you asked 7 people, they had 7 different answers. And most of them was like, oh, it's amazing, it's wonderful, it's this, is that. And I realized at that moment that we needed a very clear message where everybody could say the same thing. And I came home from that event and I was like, no, we got to make sure that this is in every presentation, that everybody knows what the mission statement is, what the goals are, what our core values are. I became very intentional with those things. And that really provided a sound foundation, because there are so many wonderful things about the community by God's grace. There's so many different reasons that people attract to us. Some people are not even here to really make money. Some of them are here just because community. They find their accountability partners here. They find their BFFs here. They love that we travel. And so I wanted to make sure that those building blocks and fundamental pieces were there. So take us into the transition. You are now leaving the military. You get involved in Rich University. What was it that attracted you? Were you looking for a community specifically that was going to teach you about the financial markets? Or what were you looking for? What made you come into this space, and why have you been here so long?
So I started trading. That's what happened. That's what actually brought me. I was a avid trader. I had learned how to trade in the Forex market, and I got pretty decent at it, but not where I wanted to be. So my cousin Michelle told me about this community, and at first I was like, no, ma'am, I'm not doing any other communities. I had the military community. That was enough for me. But when I heard Dr. LA's voice, I was really intrigued at that, because she spoke on education. Yes. And when she spoke on education, I didn't know that it was so much education in the financial markets in this community. So when I dove deep into the educational side, it enhanced what I had already learned about trading Forex. It just grew that much greater. Yeah. So then I ended up, becoming one of the lead educators within the organization, because of the start, again, that foundation, right? That foundation of the education. So the key takeaway to this is I came here because I wanted to learn, right, how to invest in the financial markets. Yes. Right. And this was a great avenue because of the material that were, in place that I really couldn't get anywhere else. The way that they set it up, it was structured just right. And again, it was just like going to a military school where you have, from point A to point Z, step 1, step 2. And it was laid out in a perfect manner. And I understood it. I understood the assignment. I understood the mission. So that's, what led me to be, where I am now. And I'm really, really happy that, that I'm in this space with other military personnel, because, we can relate to one another. And we know this, we talk the same lingo. We speak the same language. Yeah. So I thought that was amazing.
We have a huge community of military, and even the wives, and those are daughters. Like my father, he when we go home, we go to the VA. I mean, just the way they treat them, the way they love them, it's just amazing, to me, just to be a part of that. We're connected in some shape, form, or fashion. And so I'm really excited that you continue to serve our community in a different capacity financially. You are definitely someone that has impacted Rich University, I mean, in such an incredible way, from the way you learn to the way you teach to the way you help people to really reach for their goals and their visions and their dreams. We just appreciate it. And just to see you continue to rise, like graduation and being at the awards gala and receiving all of these awards. You've been awarded, like you said, it's interesting. You said it's similar to the military, but now it's bringing me back. You just showed me a beautiful award that you have from being in the military. But then even in Rich University, you got a beautiful award that's similar to this. And this is amazing. That's powerful. Y'all just dropped some fire flames in the chat. Salute. We thank you and appreciate you. You serve well, and you continue to serve. And we're just excited that you get to be a part of Rich University. Any final remarks before we bring up the next speaker?
I do have one thing, for any of my, military or federal workers or anybody in that type of realm. I have one thing I just wanted to share with you guys real quick, if I may. Yeah. And here we go. All right. Okay, I'm about to share my screen right there. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Let me know if you can see my screen. Yes, you can. Okay. So this is a big gameplay right here. Look what the headline said. New executive order leaves federal jobs in jeopardy. Now, these used to be the safest jobs to have, was a federal job. And, again, I said that what we do when we retire or when we get out, we run to those federal jobs because is job security, right? But now these jobs are in jeopardy, and it's no longer the same job security that it used to be. So coming over to a place like this where you can earn extra streams of income to even replace what you would make in a federal job, that is something that, to consider, because we only know, a lot of us only know this way. We don't know anything about the financial markets and how to capitalize off the financial markets. The digital products is already done for you. We don't know that side. So now you guys are hearing it, some of you for the first time, on how you can actually capitalize off of the financial markets and how you can earn a real income by learning and earning with us. Because one thing we say about being at Rich University is you're going to love it here.
You're going to love it here. Absolutely. Wow. This is powerful. New executive order that leaves federal jobs in jeopardy. And so much of this is happening right now. Even what's happening that we're going to talk about in just a moment with student loans. I mean, there are people whose lives are shifting. And I think when you think about AI technology, cryptocurrency, digital marketing, these things are only going to advance. They're not going to slow down. They're only going to advance. And so anybody that's watching, who is in the military, who does have a government job, who's watching things shift. We're watching not just departments, but industries become eliminated because of AI technology. Rich University is a safe space. It's a space that we've curated by the grace of God. Remember, it's faith-based, right? And we're helping you to navigate through finances. So we're not just normalizing a wealth conversation in our community, we're normalizing a wealth reality. So even if you don't come from wealth, we believe that wealth should come from you. So we're teaching you about the top 1% industries in the world. And we're giving you access to conversations that you ordinarily would not have. And we're giving you access to resources that you could apply to help you to leverage. So whatever skills you currently have, bring them to Rich University. Let us sharpen those skills and make them more relevant for today's time. So we appreciate you, Dr. Chef Yarnell Russell. We salute you, my brother. Thank you for serving. We appreciate you. And may God continue to bless you. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, Doc. Same to you.
Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing. Y'all drop some fire flames in the chat. Drop some 777s in the chat if you enjoyed and appreciated that story. If it's somebody you notice in the military, maybe they served in the military, go ahead and send this message out there. A lot of people who are traveling around the world, they understand the financial markets from a different perspective, like foreign currencies, because they go into these different countries and they understand that they're getting, the pesos, the dirham, they're getting the South, what was the South at dinar? No, that's Iraq. I think dinar. We've been in so many different places, but all the currencies that's in these places, they physically see it. And so when we're talking about the financial markets from foreign exchange perspective, you're exchanging one currency for another. And many people in the military have had to physically do that. Invite them into the conversation. Let's have this dialogue with them so that they can decide to come and get rich with us here at Rich University, because we believe that they're going to love it here. Let's go to our second panelist. We're talking about none other than Lamont Darden. What's up, my brother? How you doing? Thanks so much for being on with us tonight.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you, Ambassador Dr. Chyna, for having me. Thank you to your husband, Dr. Andre Bethley, as well. I'm grateful to be here.
Absolutely. We're grateful to have you on as well. We're excited. We want to say thank you for serving in the military. We want to say thank you for all of the contributions that you've made to our country. We're excited to hear your story in the military. I'm intrigued. I think this session might be, a little bit more intimate in that we are excited to hear the stories of what that looks like. So please share with us a little bit about who you are and what you've done before we segue into what made you decide to join Rich University.
Okay, thank you. So like she said, my name is Lamont Darden. I am retired from the Marine Corps. I did 2 terms. I was deployed 5 times. I've been all over the world. I got out at the rank of sergeant. I was and my job in the military was artillery. So every time the grunts left, we left basically. I was a section chief leader, a temporary platoon sergeant. So I had over 64 personnel up under me. Just like Dr. Chef said, not just personnel, but you're dealing with families, their children, their wives, their lives become your life, because if home is not good, then they're not good in the field.
Mm. That's an interesting perspective. I think that helps so much, even with what we do now in business. And I'm interested in knowing what y'all process was to get so intimate with family, understanding that dynamic a bit. Was there, processes that y'all went through to know what was going on? Was it questionnaires, or what did that look like? How were you able to connect so well to know, okay, this person got this happening, and if their mind is not in the game and their head's not in the game, it could be somebody's life. At stake. What was the process to go deeper there?
Well, when you get in the ranks, when you go up in ranks, that leadership role kind of it sticks to you. It becomes a part of you.
Mhm.
So in order to be a great leader, you had to be a great follower. So
Yep.
I was fortunate enough to have great leaders ahead of me to teach me the game and teach me how to lead grown men into combat, willing to do any and everything for you. And my motto always was, I would never have any of my troops do nothing I wouldn't do or haven't done.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, we appreciate that. I think that helps even with what we have now. One of the things that Dr. Yarnell just mentioned is that, it was similar. And so even what you just saying, like you had how many personnel underneath you at one point?
64.
64 just makes me think about when we're building a team here. When you have a team of 23, or you have a team of 58, or you have a team of 140, that you're at a particular rank. So I love that, because I could see a similarity now in the parallel of what that looks like here. And I believe people that are in the military, who have, were in the military, if you come with the same mindset, I really could see people moving up through the ranks. It's a lot more people sometimes when you get to the top, the bigger you go, but ultimately the concept is the same. So I love that. I think that's so powerful. What made you say yes to Rich University? Where were you, in your mindset? Did you have any prior experience? And, why do you think someone else watching should decide to come on and get rich with us?
No, I had no experience whatsoever. I'm a I was just a regular guy from Cleveland, Ohio. Uh, I used to see this stuff on the news, like, oh, the Dow Jones just went down,
Yeah.
uh, SP5, and I saw it come across, but I just was like, that's something I don't have the funds to get involved in,
Mm-hmm.
and I just left it at that. But I was always been curious.
Yeah.
So one day, fortunate enough, I attend the same church as one of our leaders, Dr. Curry,
Yes.
and didn't know all this time that I knew him that he was involved in this space.
Yeah.
So finally, when I went to his 40th birthday party, I I I became aware of, like, oh, he's doing this and he's doing it at a higher level. And
Yeah.
this is before he even came over, and he
Mhm.
brought me over with him. And this was the I thought the military was the best move I ever made to get out of that situation, but this has become the best move that I made since the military.
Wow, that's a big statement. That's powerful. That's very strong. And I'm completely honored. And I just thank God and I give him the glory that, when you talk about the military, I mean, you talk about things that have really impacted and changed people's lives one way or another. And to know that the decision that we make, and that's why I love that it's group economics, because we all get to make a decision. The decision you made here gets to impact the lives of hundreds and thousands of people, some that you may never meet, right? That will become benefactors of those who connect with you in their decisions. And so I love that we've decided to come into a space, because honestly, what I saw when I first got here, there was nobody that looked like us. That's just being honest. Most of us did come from wealth. So the people that are saying yes are first generation wealth builders. They don't understand money. And so sometimes it looks foreign and then people shy away from it. But simultaneously, people are looking for ways to have more freedom financially and in every area of their life. And I'm like, this is a solution to a world-class problem, and we got the answer. So I thank God, because it requires obedience. When you're praying at night and you're looking for something and you got dreams, goals, and visions, when God provides it to you, you may not understand it all, but it's going to require obedience from you. And I thank God that when it wasn't popular, nobody was talking about it, it wasn't the cool thing to do, I trusted the voice of God, and I started something that I didn't realize was going to impact nations and generations around the world. And the same for you. Anybody that's tapped into this vision, you are a part of something that's bigger than just you, right? You're a part of a vision and a dream that allows your visions and dreams to fit on the inside of it. But then even still, your vision and dream got to become bigger, that other people's visions and dreams can fit on the inside of yours as well. So I appreciate you. I thank you for your yes. I thank you for serving, not just in the military, but serving in the community. And I pray that somebody watching this right now who have a military background, that maybe something you said would be the reason that they get started. So we salute you and appreciate you. Any final words before we transition over?
Yes, real quick. In this space, we have a saying because we hear it a lot. People love to say it's a scam. We say it's still confused about money. I've been in this space and I know what the right side of money looks like now. We thought we knew what money was, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Since I've been in this space, I have grown exponentially. The conversations that me and my wife have at night are different now. This is when I say this is the best space ever, I learned from ground zero. And then within 6 months of being in this space, I have accomplished so many goals that people who have years have not yet. I've turned profits maybe 800 times over. I'm closing on my first home.
Wow.
I've become an inventor since I've gotten this space.
Wow.
When I say that this is a space for everyone, this is a space for everyone. So please do not miss this blessing.
Wow.
Please don't. Because it's a separation. It's only going to be the wealth and the poor. You don't want to be on the wrong side.
That's powerful. I mean, first of all, congratulations. I mean, I don't know if everybody caught that. That was some huge statements to be able to come into a space you had no prior experience in, background is in the military, and be able to really be a student to the point where you're a profitable student. Now, it's one thing to learn how to do something, it's something else to earn while you're doing it. Then be able to prepare to close on your first home. That's a big deal. And become an inventor. Like, I want you guys to listen to that, because one of the things that I'm big on is helping you to dream again. I think that some people have stopped dreaming. They don't have no vision. And when you begin to have a vision and your vision is clear, the word of God says that people perish. Like, you want to make sure that you have a vision. You got to be able to dream so vividly and so clearly that your desire, because I believe the word of God when he says that he's the one to put the desires in our hearts. So many people have gotten just kind of stuck in a day-to-day routine of life. They don't dream anymore. They don't have any vision anymore. And so it's like the blind leading the blind, but coming into this space, you dream again. Your visions become more vivid. You really have an opportunity to acquire the things that you're dreaming and visualizing. And so we appreciate you for serving. We want to say congratulations for all of the success that you've already been able to see, but also for what is to come. So thank you so much for serving. We salute you and we appreciate you being on.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. God bless you. Wow, guys. Listen, I'm so excited. I'm a visual learner, and many of you are visual learners as well. So I want to just take a moment before we bring up our next special guests that are going to be on to share with us their experience in the military and talk a little bit more about what you keep hearing when they talk about Rich University and then the systems and all of the things that we provide to you. So drop sevens in the chat right now if you can see my screen nice and clear. I want to make sure that you guys over the next few moments are able to engage and be able to connect with what it is that we offer, what makes us so unique, and why we're attracting so many people into this space here with us at Rich University. Number one, we have something that's called a system, and systems save you time, energy, and money. So no matter who you are, where you are, or what you do, we're in over 30 different countries around the world. You could tap in and begin to learn how to dominate in the top 1% industries in the world. So what Rich University provides to you is the community and the mentorship. We help to guide you. We created a space specifically for women of color and minorities because we did not have a space here. So I wanted it to feel comfortable. I wanted us to bring it down to a level where the everyday person can understand it, even if they did not come from wealth. So we decided to partner with the number one company in the world for the type of technology that we needed to succeed. And that company is called Eovia. It provides the education, the tools, and the opportunities for the modern world. Now, the word Eovia itself symbolizes a path to greatness. The EO part of the word is a Japanese word that means greatness, and the via of the word is a Latin word that means path or way. And our goal essentially is to help you to get to the right side of money. Now, some of you may be familiar with a gentleman by the name of Robert Kiyosaki. He's a best-selling author. He's an economist, and he created something called the cash flow quadrant. He wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you're familiar with him, just write Rich Dad in the chat. If you're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, just write Rich Dad in the chat. Some of you had a chance to read his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he created this cash flow quadrant to show you how money was generated. See, when we start having these conversations, we can identify where we are, so ultimately we can get to where we need to be. Does that make sense? So essentially what we do inside of Rich University is help you to get to the right side of money by leveraging trillion-dollar industries. And I say trillion with a T. So no matter who you are, where you are, what you do for a living, you are not exempt from the 4 ways that cash flow. So let me break it down to you. The cash flow quadrant works like this. On the left side of money, you have 95% of the world's population, but only 5% of the world's wealth. That's a significant problem. So you have most of the world, not the North American, the world's population is on the left side of money, but they're fighting over 5% of the wealth. This is where your employees are and those that are self-employed, right? Now, on the right side of money, which is our goal for you, is 95% of the world's wealth, but only 5% of the world's population. This is where your business owners are and your investors are. So regardless to where you are right now, and I would like for you to just type it in the chat or write it down somewhere, identify where you are in this moment. Because if you're going to go from where you are to where you want to be, you first have to identify where you are. Okay. So if you're currently an employee right now, there's nothing wrong with that. Our educational system has taught you to be a good employee. Does that make sense? We were taught since elementary school to go to school. You guys could probably finish this statement. Get a good education so you can get a good job. The same way that they have systems in place, right? And ideologies, right? In paradigms that cause you to believe a certain way is the same thing that we have to help you to unlearn old systems that don't work, that are antiquated, and to relearn systems, right, that are going to help you to be not just profitable, but to make impact in today's time. So if you are currently an employee, we already know most people watching are employees, right? The data shows us that 60% of the world's population are employees. There's nothing wrong with that, except that there's only 5% of the wealth that's on that side. If you're self-employed, I spent a lot of my adult life as a person self-employed as a cosmetologist. I did hair for many years. But the problem here is that if I did not show up to do my client's hair, I did not get paid. But the interesting thing is that your doctors and your lawyers are also on this side of the quadrant as well in this category. That's why the stethoscope is around the person's neck right here. So if the surgeon doesn't show up to do the surgery, the surgeon doesn't get paid. If the attorney doesn't take the case, the attorney doesn't get paid. So regardless to what our parents told us about being doctors and lawyers, many of them are still on the wrong side of the money unless they have systems in place like business owners. So business owners, the significant difference between somebody self-employed and a business owner is that the business owner have systems in place. We have systems that save us time, energy, and money. And ultimately, the strategy is like this. Robert Kiyosaki has taught us this cash flow quadrant. We decided to adopt his philosophy. We are not going to negate this because we know that he's made and amassed a ton of wealth. So we know that he understands something that most people don't. So the goal is for you to first, somebody say first start a business. Once you start a business and you get your business cash flowing, then you take some of the profits from the business and you start investing. Does that make sense? You first start a business and then you take some of the profits and you start investing. So what type of business would you want to start? I would hope you want to start a profitable business. I hope that you would want to start a business that's going to have longevity. I would hope that you would want to start a business that's in high demand. And I can tell you right now, there are things that people are looking for right now for you to be able to supply the demand. They're looking to learn about AI technology. We check off the list. We got that. They're looking to learn about cryptocurrency. Check off the list. We got that. They're looking to learn about digital marketing because of the time that they're already spending on social media. They want to monetize that time. Check, right? They're also looking to be able to make money from the comfort of their home. Many people don't want to go back into the workplace. They want to make money from the time that they're already spending online and the time that they're spending from the comfort of their home. We provide solutions to all of these. Now, once your business is cash flowing, then you can start utilizing our tools, leveraging AI technology to actually start to invest your money. In fact, we've adopted this model. The opportunity that we have for you is to gain the chance to franchise a billion-dollar tech company, to generate cash flow and capital to invest and fund your dreams. We've adopted even the philosophies of a McDonald's. So McDonald's, if you wanted to franchise a McDonald's, first of all, you would need $1.4 to $2.7 million to franchise a McDonald's. That's number one. Okay. Most people, they're already out because they ain't set up that like that just yet. Nevertheless, they have a franchise because they have a system that they're selling. Does that make sense? The same thing that we have. We're allowing you to franchise a billion-dollar tech company. That means that you don't have to put the systems together yourself. You don't have to create the websites yourself. You don't have to worry about the back end and the marketing plan yourself. These systems are already done for you, right? The next one is Amazon. How many of you are getting Amazon packages to your door? Somebody say me in the chat, right? You're getting Amazon packages to your door. Do you realize that Amazon, the company itself, is not the person creating the products? So what we do inside of this company is we allow you to franchise a billion-dollar tech company and to promote done-for-you digital products similar to what Amazon is doing, but Amazon is doing it for physical products. But we don't have to worry about the tariffs, okay? Right? Some people are nervous right now about their businesses because they have products and services that are coming in from out of the country that they don't know what's going to happen. So now you get to promote done-for-you digital products that you don't have to create, but products that are in high demand. The next thing that we started to pay attention to when we looked at our current time as business models that are working is a gentleman by the name of Chyna. If you don't know who Chyna is, this gentleman is making millions of dollars to show up online just to be himself from a subscription-based model. So essentially what we have is an opportunity for you to franchise a billion-dollar tech company to promote done-for-you digital products that you don't have to create, and for you to have a subscription-based model for you to earn a sound commission off of. We are leveraging artificial intelligence, the financial markets, cryptocurrency, digital marketing, e-commerce. These are not just buzzwords. They are the world that we live in, and it's constantly evolving. The question that we ask is, are you evolving at the same pace as the world around you? Because we have for you the resources and everything that you need. We even have for you live, what we call Pipsy sessions, where you can come and get Pipsy with us, right? You can come and get Pipsy with us and not tipsy with us in the nightclub where my incredible husband, Dr. Andre Logic Mix, alongside his incredible co-host, Dr. Claude Curry and Dr. Chef Yarnell, host this every Monday night and Tuesday night. That means you get to leverage. Somebody comment the word leverage, because if you're going to acquire wealth, you got to leverage. It's not about everything that you know and everything you understand. You got to lean not on your own understanding. Some of you have been dreaming and hoping and wishing, but now it's time for you to take action and get connected, because the number one thing that we offer is community, where you don't have to do it alone, right? The next thing that I can tell you is that our educational avenues are amazing. You can learn about foreign exchange or stocks and crypto or digital marketing and personal development. And I say and personal development because I believe no matter who you are, where you are, or what your interest is, you need personal development. You got to elevate your mind, your conversation. I believe your words create your worlds. And when you get into environments where the conversations are elevated because people are reading and they're thinking positively and they're not feeding their mind with garbage, the outcome doesn't help. You can't help but the outcome to be better. And what I find is once you get your money right, you're going to be ready to travel around the world. So why not give you access to a membership portal that gives you membership rates? Imagine going to Paris, France, living in a condo for a week for only $900. How much more is your family going to be excited to be able to benefit from the fruits of your labor, right? So there's discounted prices that you get to benefit from simply because you are connected, simply because you're a member. So let's just talk about what it is that we offer in a nutshell. You can learn from anywhere at any time with our go live sessions, or perhaps you are someone who has a lot on your plate. That's not your excuse to not win and be relevant in 2025, that's not your excuse not to put you and your family in a position to leverage AI technology. No, we have a system for everybody. You got 24/7 access to world-class education in over 15 different languages, right? Strategies and scanners, banking software, and exclusive travel discounts. So some of you are business-minded on here. Drop B's in the chat if you're business-minded. You're listening to this and you're saying, I got to do something. I need to make more money. I need another stream of income. I need to promote something that's in high demand. I don't want to have to figure this out. I want to find out what people are already looking for and feel that demand. Drop B's in the chat if you're business-minded. All right. Because essentially we have a compensation plan that's so robust that allows you to get paid from referrals, right? You got to shift your mind. If you're around people who understand lack very well, who understand the struggle, who understand the poverty, like they're probably content with a job because poverty teaches you to be skeptical about anything except for a job. One of the things that Lamont talked about is the word scam. Now, are there real scams out here? Absolutely. But they usually don't last 10 years. They usually don't last 12 years. They usually have about a 6-month cycle, right? They usually don't have partnerships with companies and partnerships where you can use your Visa card or credit card. They usually want to have you to go to Cash App or have you put some money in cryptocurrency. Like there are signs to what things are that's not legitimate, right? These are not companies that are going to be legitimate companies with a real compliance component. They don't last that long. So you are, when you think about people who are impoverished, they're skeptical about anything except for a job because that's the only thing that they've been taught. That's an indicator that they're not educating themselves. That's an indicator that they're not learning. That's an indicator that they're not growing. Does that make sense so far? Group economics is a real thing. Other communities have always done this. This is the only way that they would do it. So what this means is we have a sound compensation plan that rewards you for your efforts. It's a uni-level compensation plan. That means we get paid off of all of our volume. You don't get paid off of just the weaker leg. You don't get paid off of just the lesser leg. It's a uni-level compensation plan where you get paid off of all of the levels, not just 1, 2, skip a few. No. If somebody comes into your business and they're down to the 100 level, you get paid off of all of that, and everybody in between you, the volume rolls all the way up. It's a sound compensation plan for longevity, right? Not only that, you don't have to worry about the volume flushing and starting over every week. You don't have to worry about repackaging in. Does that make sense? Also, very important, the volume doesn't start over every week or every month. So I love that this is a genuine compensation plan for longevity, and this portion of it is just the residual portion. It's not the upfront bonuses that you get. It's not you leveraging the products. It's not the overrides. It's just the residual component, which most compensation plans, to be honest with you, I've been in this industry now for 16 years. Most people residual part looks like dust. Like they got to sell you on the upfront bonuses. Nothing wrong with upfront bonuses. I think they're amazing, but they got to sell you on that because there's really no residual back end for longevity. Okay. So what that means is when you build a team of 5, you now are earning a minimum of $300 a month just residually. When that 5 grows to 10, you're now earning $600 a month for a team of 10 people who are already looking to learn about AI technology, already looking to learn about cryptocurrency, already know that they need additional streams of income coming in because the world is changing at the speed of thought. When that 10 grows to 23, $1,000 a month, but we're paying you out every Friday. It's payday Friday today. Every Friday, imagine being able to get paid for simply referring people to products that they were already looking for, similar to Amazon, except our products are digital. Does that make sense? When 23 grows to 58, similar to what they talked about in the military, now you're earning $2,000 a month at that rank for managing, leading, guiding a team of 58. But here's the thing, you don't have to personally enroll all 58 people. The beautiful thing about this is when you share with a few, chances are if you saw value, they're going to see value. They're going to get excited. They're going to share it with people. Now you have a team of 58. You're earning $2,000. When the 58 grows to 140, you're earning $4,000. And when the 140 grows to 270, that's $7,000 that you're earning. This is absolutely amazing. In fact, people are already doing this. People are already getting paid. People are already winning. People are already leveling up. People are already in a position right now to go and grow from where they were to ultimately where they want to be, and they're not stopping. My question to you is, are you the one? Are you the one that's going to have the financial shift in your family that they're going to thank you for generations to come because you were bold enough to make a decision? Are you the one that's going to get off the sideline and get into the game? Are you the one that's going to be responsible for the land and the compounds that's built because you got connected divinely? I call this divine timing and positioning. Why? Because the world is now ready for what we offer. How much does it cost? A simple 3-figure decision. How much does it cost? A good weekend going eat at maybe one of your favorite restaurants. How much does it cost? Literally a no-brainer decision of $249 one time and then $184 4 weeks later, so that you don't have to pay thousands of dollars up front. So that means if you just wanted to learn about foreign exchange and how the markets move, then you would select foreign exchange. If you wanted to learn just about stocks and crypto to make sure that next time we're at an all-time high, you're not missing out, you would choose stocks and crypto. If you wanted to learn about digital marketing and e-commerce so you can monetize the time that you're spending on social media, then you would select the digital marketing and e-commerce. But if I were you, I would select the bundle because it gives you 2 different options, right? You can do foreign exchange plus and stocks and crypto, or stocks and crypto and digital marketing. You could customize it however you want. You select 2 and you get 2 for free. So ultimately you got 4 bundles for $274. So for $30 more, you got 4 experiences. That means you got the 2 you chose, and automatically you get personal development so you can level up, right? Automatically you get E over your goal. What's that again? That's the travel, where you get hotels and rental cars and cruises, discounts on all of those. And after 12 months of being a member, you get a rewards trip where you and a significant other get to go to places like Abu Dhabi, complimentary. Hello. You get to go to places like Bali, complimentary. Wait a minute. Wait, this is the opportunity for you to really build something sustainable that is going to last. And if the $249 a month makes you uncomfortable and causes you to question your decision tonight, somebody comment tonight in the chat. Let me just get that out of the way for you. When you pay $274 tonight, somebody comment the word tonight, right? You can actually have the monthly subscription completely waived for you. You can have the monthly subscription completely waived when you refer 2 people to this call. Let them hit a playback. Listen, you can get started tonight, and as soon as you get started, you can share this out with 10 people tonight that's looking for an opportunity. They're hearing about all the stuff that's going on. They're hearing about the things that are changing, and they know that they need to do something. So when you send this out to 10 people and 2 get started, now you don't have to worry about paying the monthly subscription. Listen, by now, I know you're ready to get started. I know you're ready to get in a position, and I know you're ready to go because you can't afford to be left out of this conversation. But we're not done yet. We got 2 more people that I want you to hear from, right? I want you to think about whoever sent this to you. You should already be looking to get their link so that you can get started, okay? You should already be looking to get that link. You say, listen, I'm ready to go tonight. I don't have time to be procrastinating. I don't have time to be putting this off. I don't have time to be waiting. It's time for me to get in a position, not now, but right now. Make sure you get to link of the person who invited you to the call tonight so you can get in a position to absolutely win. So I have 2 more people that I want to bring up that's going to absolutely be powerful. The first person I want to bring up is none other than Dr. Claude Curry. This gentleman right here has served in the military. He's serving in Rich University. He's doing an incredible job shaking up the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, help me bring up none other than Dr. Claude Curry. How you doing out there, my brother? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? We can't hear your audio. We see your excitement, but I don't know why I can't hear your audio. I don't know if it's your mic.
We good. We good. Let me do that again. Let me do that one more time. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. How
Man.
are you doing tonight? I'm so excited. We're on fire right now.
Feeling phenomenal. I'm super excited about this call, super excited about this opportunity, truly ecstatic to be in this place that you and your husband have cultivated from an idea that you had, so all of us can come over here and just really dominate in this space with the education, the community, the camaraderie. I just truly love it. Thank you for having me on this platform tonight.
Absolutely. And thank you for serving our country. Thank you for showing up and seeing value in this space. Thank you for what you and your wife and your family is doing. I love what Dr. Yarnell said. I keep going back to that because I learned a lot tonight myself. I'm always learning. I'm always growing. I'm always intrigued and inquisitive and asking questions. But how our families have been able to come together and really impact one another is, to me, priceless. I don't think you can put a price on what we gain inside of this community. I'm gaining inside of the community, even as the founders, from the members that are saying yes. And so it's reciprocal because we all get to win inside of this space. So I appreciate you and your wife, Jazz, and your family. Our families have had an opportunity to get to know each other over the past few years. And I even love how you and Dr. Lodge's relationship established even before you were a member of Rich University. I mean, there's so much purity here, and I know that it's divine. And so I'm excited. So share with the audience who you are, a little bit about your background in the military, and then we'll segue into why you saw value to join Rich University.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, my name is Dr. Curry. Just recently received my doctoral degree from Rich University. I grew up in Michigan City, Indiana. Used to go to church in Gary, Indiana. So I definitely used to know the struggle. And, I needed to do something different with my life. And the reason I said that is because, just being completely transparent. Can I be transparent with y'all?
100%.
Being completely transparent. I've seen a lot of individuals die. And I knew that I needed to change my situation, just like a lot of my brothers that are on this call right now. Salute to all the military members that are truly watching this call right now. Salute to each and every single one of you guys that have spoke, because we already know military language. We're kind of divided until it's time to go to battle, but now we're here, we're working together, we're a unified unit, we're a force. And we're doing that inside of Rich University. So I ended up joining the military. And the reason I joined the military is because I wanted to get away from my situation. I knew for a fact that if I stayed where I was either going to end up dead or in jail. And that wasn't the life that I wanted, not only for myself, but for my future family. Grew up to a single mother. Mother and father got divorced at an early age. And I joined the military to have a better life, because I believe that was going to give me what I wanted. And when I joined the military, it really instilled those core values in me that we have within inside of Rich University. And it really turned me out to be the person that I needed to be for my future family and for everybody that's directly connected to me.
Yeah.
Been deployed, Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, Kirkuk, Djibouti, you name all the stands, I've been there. And, there was truly a time in my life. There was a time in my life, y'all, where I didn't think I was going to make it back home. And I really don't share this story with a lot of people, but I'm going to tell you guys, I was in Iraq at the time, and we were in bunkers. It's our headquarters, place where we sleep. And we were getting bombed. This is the time when the chow hall in Mosul actually got bombed, and it killed hundreds of individuals, hundreds of soldiers while they were eating. So they found our location, and they were just trying to send those mortars at us. And every night you would hear the rockets going over, shaking our bunkers. And one night they found us. And, the rocket just came in, and you can just hear it. It's just whistling, and the barracks started shaking, and it actually hit one of our bunkers. And at this time, I was a young soldier, young airman at the time, guys. I'm prior Air Force. I'm running through the bunkers, and I'm evacuating people, like, yo, let's go. We got to get to the bunkers. And one of those mortars hit one of our bunkers, and it came through the roof, through the bed. We used to have our Kevlar vest on our bunk beds. We used to sleep in bunk beds. It came through that roof, hit that bunk, and I'm running in that building. And I'm clearing people out of that building. It's about 100, 150 individuals, 150 soldiers in that building. And I'm yelling at them like, let's go. And I got to get the bunker. And when I get to that last room, we see the mortar in there. And it was nothing but by the grace of God that it didn't detonate, So we got out of there. Was I shook? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
That didn't stop the attacks. And not too long ago, we got hit again, and this mortar was literally 100 yards away from our bunker, and it didn't detonate. And
this was the second one?
It was the second one. They were homing it in. And it was literally like at that time, like I just thank God, because I realized then and there that God had a purpose bigger for my life than I could have imagined.
Amen. Wow.
But
wow.
It just really shifted everything for me.
Wow.
I've been all over Japan, Germany, like a lot of our brothers on here have right now. And that's what I'm gonna give you guys right now. That is what really started to shape me before I really truly started getting into the personal development by seeking more out of life. Because I wanted more out of life. I always wanted more out of life from an early age.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, first of all, man, what an incredible story. I mean, God's grace and his mercy is so real. I don't know the likelihood of two of those, was it missiles or whatever, the not designating or whatever the terms were that you use. I followed the story the best I could. But what I heard you say is twice it happened that you went in and it did not erupt. Like the likelihood of that is probably very slim. But because of God and his power and his infinite mercy and his infinite grace, he saw fit to save and protect him for what he did do in this case, and that was spare your life. And I'm grateful that you went over, you served, but that you also came back in one piece. I mean, some people go and they don't come back in one piece. And even if they are physically fit, their mind is sometimes not right. What we do in this space requires a lot of mental capacity to be able to learn and expand your mind to think about things that maybe nobody in your family bloodline ever thought about. And now you guys are leading the charge. The military, to be honest with you, the leaders in Rich University, the ones that are really helping this division to come to pass, are military. The educators and military, that's powerful. So, man, I'm just in awe at your story. I appreciate you. I see the chats lighting up and everybody just saying thank you, but God, and wow. And some of us are hearing this for the first time, that we're very close. And so that's why I love that we've curated a space like this where not only do we get to hear these stories, but other people in the military. You said something that resonated with somebody. Why should somebody listening right now, Dr. Claude Curry, who is maybe not knowing what they're going to do next, or maybe they're in the middle of what they got going on, but know they need to make some decisions differently. Maybe they're currently in the military, prior, was in the military, connected some kind of, why should they say yes to Rich University? Why should they decide to come and get rich with us? What message would you give to that person right now?
To be honest, I'm going to just say, if you want more out of life, you got to go get it. More requires more. And the way I really want to answer that, I just want to speak out of self, and maybe this may resonate with someone. With me not knowing if I was going to come back home, I knew I needed to do something different. And so when I finally got my hands on that book that you were talking about, The Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then I got to the section about the 4 quadrants, it completely shifted my mindset on how I looked at my finances, how I looked at life, and I started the personal development there. Everyone on this call that are prior military, you guys already know about personal development. What personal development are you truly doing when it comes to your finances? What type? Everyone has a marriage mentor. Everyone has a life mentor. What type of mentor do you have when it comes to your finances? And when I shifted, and I discovered Rich University actually through your husband. I call him my brother. I truly like to say that man saved my life yet again.
Wow.
And the reason I say that, nobody knows this. I'm gonna just keep it real. The reason I say that is because in the military we have that camaraderie. But for me personally, myself, with deploying and PCSing and seeing a lot of individuals die in the military, my circle began to collapse. It began to get smaller and smaller, and I began to really shut down. So the individuals I led in my circle, in my immediate circle, was very small. By nature, I'm an outgoing person, but it's always to a certain distance, a certain level. So when I met your husband, Dr. Bethley, it was just a genuine bond. It was just a relationship. It was just, him reaching out, him truly caring. And then me on the other side, I'm like, who is this brother? Who is this tall brother right here with this wealth of knowledge and him just wanting to pour and pour? Yeah. But he's not going to give his information to any and everybody.
Right.
And I respect that. He's not going to waste his time on any and everybody. You got to be, I'm going to put it in my words, you got to be deserving of that information, because you can hear the information and let it go out the ear. You can hear the information and it's as if you were never there. So it falls on deaf ears. So when your husband told me the information, I listened, I received, and then I applied. And we were doing this over a 1.5 year span of just genuine brotherhood. And the reason I say he saved my life, because I was at a time where I was low key depressed. I was just getting out. I was just getting out of a divorce, separated from my children, and what I knew was that God does things in His own timing. I don't have to know why. I just have to listen to the voice of God and be obedient.
Yeah.
And that's what led me here. Then I ended up coming here, and my life completely changed. I've written 3 books. I teach financial literacy in schools here in the state of Georgia. I have 2 series on Apple TV. I'm also on Roku channel as well. I received my doctorate degree. I met my wife, and all of this was because of location, proximity, and being obedient. I didn't know why I was going through everything, but when I got here and I listened and I reconnected with the Holy Spirit, my life really began to transform. I really started to see the difference. People started to see that light, that joy, because that joy in me, it was gone. Wow. I didn't want to deal with anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. There's a lot of people down, a lot of soldiers now that I'm in this space, and what we have here within Rich U, they come here just to be a part of the community. I have individuals that reach out to me that are suicidal, that don't know what they're going to do. They hear about the tariffs. There was a time when the furloughs were going on, and I was in the market trading when military personnel they weren't getting paid. But I wasn't worried about that because I knew how to make money out of this system. See, one thing I'm gonna tell my brothers on here that are investing in your TSP, that are investing in the Roth, I want you to really look at the percentages that you're getting back. And I'm gonna tell you now, you can do that on your own and double, triple, 10x what they're doing, because you have the education and the knowledge. And that's one thing that we pride ourselves on here with inside Rich University, with your leadership, all the leaders, but definitely with your leadership, because of the vision that you have and still curating for the community is so massive that all we want to do is help more. We want to help more individuals. And I'll end with this part right here. One thing that I know is that just like in the military, when you deploy, you hope that everyone comes home. But sometimes everyone don't come home. Yeah. For the individuals who are listening to this message, I hope you hear this message. I hope you take heed to what's being said and take advantage of this opportunity, because this wealth transformation is happening right now. And if you open your eyes and be vigilant, you'll truly see it. You'll truly hear the banks talking about crypto. You'll see NBA stadiums being named after crypto.com. You'll hear Wells Fargo talking about crypto and how they want to give crypto to the people and how they're offering crypto to the people. Guys, you can do it on your own. You don't need them. They have you trapped in the system because you're conformed to what the banks have already been doing.
Wow. That was powerful. Just sharing with people that, especially in the military, seeing those checks that are coming in, not to cut them, but you could do these things on your own. You got military guys right here that's saying, man, I never knew that I could do it. Well, when you empower yourself to gain the education and the knowledge and you apply it, it's unlimited possibilities for you. And you don't have to just hope, wish, or dream. You got people right in front of you that are doing it. We could show you more on the inside, but this should be enough for you to know that something needs to change and you need to take action. Dr. Claude Curry, we salute you, my brother. Salute. We appreciate you. We thank you for being a top leader inside of Rich University, an educator, and sharing your knowledge with the community to be able to grow. If you're military, ex-military, or prior military, not ex, but prior military, or connected to anyone who is, you are absolutely going to love it inside of Rich University. We always say, come and get rich with us, because you are definitely going to love it here. Thank you so much for being on, Dr. Curry. We appreciate you and your family once again. And thank you for serving. You're building an incredible organization. You're unapologetic, and people can definitely get value from your page. So thank you for being on. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, wow, wow. Guys, we got one more that's gonna come and pour before we wrap. And I'm telling you right now, he's gonna set it on fire. He's gonna set it on fire. All of these brothers are military, and it's amazing because they get to connect with other people that are in the military. You still have time to share it out. Share this information out. If you've enjoyed it so far, just drop fire flames in the chat. If you've enjoyed it so far, drop fire flames in the chat. We got to have some comedy in here as well. This is my amazing husband here, Dr. Andre Logic, mixed with this comment about the JROTC. They got the inside joke thing that they're doing. So you see all of them coming in laughing. But we love and appreciate you, Dr. Logic. Y'all drop 9s in the chat for Dr. Andre Logic Mix. Let's bring up our other brother, the finale of tonight. He's doing a phenomenal job inside of our community. And this is none other than Andre Lovell. We appreciate you, Dre, my brother, for serving. We appreciate you and your wife for all that you guys are doing. I thank you for being on Industry Week. How you doing tonight?
Dr. Chyna, I am doing amazing right now. And I just want to say it's incredible now, just listening to my brothers in arms right here. Oh man, just them all giving their story, giving their testimony, and to see how great and grand it is that you can come here in this space, no matter what branch or what service you are. And I'm speaking to the service members, whether you're still in or you're getting ready to get out or you're already out. You can come here and really find a true home, a true place. And second of all, I just want to say thank you and compliment you on the incredible job that you've curated for Industry Week right now. We've talked about the beauty. We've talked about finances. We're talking about military. We're talking about so many things. We talked about ministry, ladies and gentlemen. I know, Dr. Chyna, when people talk about money and finances and ministry and all those things, people don't understand that finances is a vital key to how the ministry develops and grows. And that's saying that's the end all. 100. We got some incredible things happening here. So thank you for providing, you and your husband, Dr. Logic, for providing an incredible community for all of us to really prosper in and find ourselves.
Praise God. Praise God. I appreciate you. We're excited that you're here. You've been on for quite some time, a part of the community. You've seen so many different seasons, and you're still here. And we honor you for that, to be honest with you, Dre. We appreciate your contribution and your commitment, because a lot of people say a lot of things, but when it's time for action, they come up short. And so we appreciate you for applying and really being what it is that's necessary to be committed and consistent. Tell them a little bit about who you are, your background, and then let's segue into what made you say yes to Rich University.
Absolutely. To God be the glory. To want to be here and stay here this long, we've had some incredible things happen here, and let me go back a little bit. So again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dre Lovell. In the community, they often call me the bread talker. And originally, when I first thought of the name, it wasn't about finances. I knew everybody thought about finances, but I often thought about the bread of life and where I was coming from and the things that I have done. And I often thought about Jacob. I often thought about Abraham. I thought about Joseph. My middle name is Joseph. So in some things that I was going through in my life, even after my military service, it led me to certain journeys and then to help other people get to where they need to go. But going back a little bit further, man, I'm from Spanish Harlem in Bronx, New York, the foundation, the home of hip hop. I love my community and I love where I'm from. So I'm proud to often mention it. But there's some things inside of our community that you and I can both relate to, that we may not look like today what we've gone through or where we came from, but there's some things inside of our neighborhoods, my neighborhood, that led me to say, hey, look, I need to make some changes. I need to make some moves and leave here. Because when you start looking around and you see where people are headed, what people are doing, and the things that you may have been engaged in, or I have been engaged in, it just didn't look too promising, right? I didn't want to be the one in my family that would find myself in prison or find myself dead because of some foolishness. Yeah, right? I needed an out, and the military provided that for me. I had a daughter. My daughter was about 1-2 years old when I decided to say, hey, listen, I'm gonna follow the pathway. I guess my dad was in the Army for 12 years. And I said, you know what, Dad? No, that's it. All right, you win. you win. I'm gonna go, but I didn't want to go to the Army. I wanted to go to the Navy. A recruiter once said, he said, "Hey, look, this is what got me, because initially I was going to go to the Army, but I went to the Navy because the recruiter said, now, if the bullets are flying and if things are happening, would you rather be on the ground, or would you rather be in the air, or would you rather be on a ship?" And I thought about it. He said, "How many ships do you know have went down before?" I said, I really haven't heard too much of a ship going down. I think I'm gonna do the Navy. I said, "But how much money do they make?" He said, "Well, the Navy, they make more money than all of the other branches at the time." Now, I don't know, I can't remember if this was a thing that he was just telling me, but I said, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna go for the money. I need to get out of here. I need to make some moves. I need to set some foundations. I'm all about how can I set foundations and get away from the things that drag me or drag others into poverty-minded thinking, into prosperity, into growth, development." So, it wasn't an easy journey, but we got there. So I spent about 9 years in the Navy. And because of my decision to go to the Navy, it helped me. Not even a year after being in the military, I got married to my beautiful wife, Shireen. And we've been married for 24 years now. We didn't have a glorious wedding, nothing lavish, but the people came together. When the village comes together, look at God. We said, "Hey, we're going to get married." I was getting ready to go on my first deployment. So let's go down to City Hall. She's like, "Okay, we go down to City Hall. When we come back, we'll have a big ceremony then." Our families, both of our families said, They came together and made it happen. When the village comes together, Rich University reminds me of when the village comes together.
Wow.
Great things happen. 24 years later, it wasn't about the fancy thing, but it was about the thing that's going to lead us. So that's one of the greatest decisions that I've ever made. One, going to the military. Two, deciding to marry the woman of my dreams, of my life, my soulmate, my wife, Shireen. And we just celebrated our 24th anniversary 2 weeks ago. And much like you and your husband, Dr. Logic, you get ready to celebrate your 24th. So some things actually resonated with our lives and our journey with you and your husbands. And, being in the military at the time that I went in, my first deployment, I thought I was just going to have a good time. Prior to my deployment, the USS Cole, that's one of the Navy ships, had got hit out in Yemen, and the bomber had hit it. So it changed a whole lot of the posture of the military change, right?
Yeah, I bet.
I
just asked you which one don't get hit. Now you finding out that the ship that got hit. Wait a minute.
I said, ship didn't get hit. I said, hold up, wait a minute. But then when we went on that first deployment, like I said, I'm from New York. So that was 2001. What resonated in 2001 is that the United States met terrorism at hand. The World Trade Center got hit. And I remember being in Malta. We just had left Italy, Vatican, had a good time. We're in Malta having a great time. And then all of a sudden, the day we get there, the next day we have to get up and leave all of a sudden. This was abruptly. So they got us all together, dragged us all the way out to sea. And then that's when they laid it on us. They said the towers got hit. Now, the first thing that runs through my head is, but I didn't tell y'all, a year or two prior to me joining the service, I worked a block behind the World Trade Center. I used to do messenger work off and on, and I remember having to go inside of the World Trade Center. And I could only think of, I used to work there. I was probably still working in that area because that's where the money is. It's a financial district. That's the stock exchange. That's Goldman Sachs. That's all of the big major companies that pretty much run the United States financially. But when those planes hit, I was worried. My father worked down the street. City Hall is right there where the mayor is. He worked in a federal building that was there. So my concern was, my father, what's going to happen? He's in that area. My wife, Shireen, she worked in the area too as well. So I'm deeply concerned. So they gathered all of the military people together that were in New York, and they put us all together. I've never felt so much patriotism in my life. I never thought I could feel the feeling of I'm ready to run. I say that to say, being a part of this community after getting out of the military, this community has given me that feeling again.
Wow.
That when somebody tries to take minds, right? This community has given me and so many other men and women of all various ages, from 18 to the oldest person I remember was about 75 years old, coming in here to learn how to trade and invest in financial markets. It opened up so many doors. So, you know, that's a little bit about my journey. And, you know, we have 5 children, and, you know, being able to teach them some of the things that we're learning right now. My children see the different phases of who their dad is and who their mom is, and now they get to see the entrepreneur side.
Yes.
So it's been a go.
Wow, man, that's powerful. Just the timeline of things and the events that happen, and just you being there when, now, like you said, the United States was now facing terrorism, head on, while you out of the country, working to prevent some of those things. That's just powerful. And being able to serve, and then the similarities. Once again, all of you guys have said something that was so unique, the similarities in this community and the camaraderie that you feel, and the love and the patriotism in that capacity. But people go hard for rich because it's bigger than just money. When people see the word rich, initially, I'll be honest with you, it was a little controversial in the beginning because they didn't understand the vision and the mission. But I'm never, like, once God shows me something, I'm not worrying about convincing people. I just want to be obedient. Rich for us is bigger than just the money. We want to help people to be rich in every area of their lives. That's why we're faith-based first. But one of the biggest problems that we saw, especially in ministry, is that there was a lot of people that was broke and broken. There was a lot of people that was sick and tired. There was a lot of people that was robbing Peter to pay Paul. There was a lot of people that was living check to check. And these were people who genuinely loved God, but they were not applying kingdom principles to their lives. These were also people, when it came down to money, they got the word misconstrued. And that's when I began to understand the difference between religion and relationship. Those of us who had genuine relationships with God, we spent time in his word, we spent time in his presence, and we were not just fed the word. We were able to gain revelation through the Holy Spirit to understand the word, and we were not fearful of our assignment. Every assignment that God has called us to do is going to require something. Whether it's another relationship, another resource, it's going to require something. And while the world is gaining all of this amassed wealth, we have a role in that too. That's why the word of God says that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. He gives us assignments on how to gain good wealth, even in Joshua 1:8-9, when he shows us how to acquire not just success, but good success. And so when people, who don't really have a relationship, but they have religion, assume that wealthy people are evil, or they use the scripture that, and they misconstrued it, because the word of God says that the love of money is the root of all evil, not money itself. The word actually says money answereth all things. So nobody will be going to a job to get money, especially one that they hate, if they didn't need money. So we got to stop pretending that it makes us look more holy to be broke. Like, who is that? If I manufacture this product right here, I want whoever uses this product, I want them to see that it works. God is the manufacturer. He created us. He didn't create us to be broke. He didn't create us to be broken. So it glorifies him for us to actually be abundant in what he has called us to do. It glorifies him for us to be fruitful in what it is that he's called us to do. If this were not so, he would have not told us to dominate. Like we're just talking about in Genesis. And so in Rich University, you discover your identity and who God has called you to be. So now you're braver, not just with your conversation, but you're braver in who it is that you are, because you're coming unapologetically and authentically, right, as who God has created you to be. So faith and finance collides here in Rich University. There is no separation of the two. There is no separation of the two. So people are elevating not just because of finance, but they're elevating because they walk into the true identity of who God has called them to be, and understanding that the kingdom does have an economy. We don't apologize about the goals, the visions, and the dreams. We don't pretend to play small. We're not playing small. We're not making people feel comfortable in our environment with small talk. You're going to get big talk around us, because if anything, you're going to be uncomfortable talking small. because you got to have a vision big enough that other people's vision could fit on the inside of your vision. You don't look holy talking small. We not feeling like, I don't know what that is, but you begin to develop, learn, and grow inside of this community. So for us, being rich is being rich in every good area of your life. The finances is just a byproduct because your gift is going to make room for you. You will have a closer relationship with the Holy Spirit here. Your gift will make room for you. It will bring you before great men. And every gift that God has given us solves a problem. Money is simply a byproduct for solving a problem. So now you're not chasing money. We're not chasing money. We're magnetic. Money is magnetic to us because we're solving problems. We bring value into every conversation that we have. We bring solution into every situation that we walk into. So you become better here, and by default, your life begins to elevate. And so I say all of that to say that the word rich was controversial when I gave it a vision for Rich University, but I wasn't leaning on my own understanding. My goal was to just be obedient. And to anybody listening right now, those of you who've been dreaming dreams and God has been showing you visions, those of you who know you want more and deserve more, those of you who are the one of your family bloodline, those of you who know your parents are getting older and you have things that you have not yet accomplished yet for them, those of you who children are looking at you and you know you got to do something differently, we're saying to you, come and get rich with us in every area of your life and become who God has called you to be. Because you are going to love it here and your children will be benefactors of your decisions. I'm excited that you joined us, Dre Lovell. I appreciate you for serving in the military, serving our country, but also serving inside of our community as one of our educators and trainers. We really appreciate both you and your wife, and we're excited for what is to come. We believe that this is going to actually be shared to somebody. I don't care if it's just one person who hears this message, who makes a decision to get started, who now impacts nations and generations, even if it's just the generations of their family. The word of God says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children, children, children. What are you doing to do that? And we have a solution for you, and we encourage you to come join us. Any final remarks, Trey, before we wrap as a finale of Industry Week?
Oh man, it's just it's beautiful that I get to close. And thank you for that opportunity, and thank you for this honor. But I do want to close with one final thing here. It says in Matthew 7, 7 and 8, it says, ask and it will be given, seek and you will find, knock and it will be open to you. Mm-hmm. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds. Mm-hmm. And to him who knocks, it will be open.
Beautiful.
For anybody listening to this right now, whether it's today, tomorrow, in the future, whenever you're listening to this, I encourage you to make a decision that can really, truly change your life. For my service members or anybody in the world just getting ready to retire and you're coming down to that wire and you're concerned about what is the next thing that you're going to do, this is right here. For our service members, the typical retirement is age range is normally around 40 years old, 39 years old. You're still a young man. You're still a young woman. There's things to do. If you want to go find a career, great. There's nothing wrong with that. But we want to say is tap into something that will open up your finances in a bigger and broader way. As we can see right now, the economy is facing some dilemmas right now. Job security is not job security as you used to think. The private sector is no longer a private. It feels more like a public sector. People are fighting for the jobs that they've had for 20, 30, 15, however many years. Jobs that you thought you was going to get is now being rescinded. Mm-hmm. So pay attention to the writings on the wall. There are other things out there that we can show you here at Rich University with the tools and the resources that will change your life. I have team members right now, whether they're master chiefs or master sergeants or officers or in school, in college, and I'm great. I mean, I went and got my degree too. Thank you, military. But I have to say, there's more on the table. I'm still a young man. Mm-hmm. This will be the answer to your retirement. This is the answer to your next stage and phase. So you're going to love it here. That's all I have to say. You're really going to love it here. Just pull up a chair and come and see what Life's Waters Free is like.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Ray. We appreciate you. This officially concludes Industry Week. Rich University has served all week long to bring you different industries to show you why they decided to come and get started with us at Rich University and just really connect with you in those prospective industries. And so, Dre, we appreciate you. We thank you. And we salute you, my brother, for being here with us tonight. May God bless you continuously.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Guys, listen, what a phenomenal industry week we've had so far. This is the end of industry week. If you've enjoyed it, I encourage you to share with us in the comments. Even if it's not live, we'll go back and read those comments. Somebody shared this with you and you were able to see this information. Perhaps you've been dreaming about something, praying about something, or have had a vision or burning desire on the inside of you. The world is changing rapidly. AI is going to just get even more aggressive, even more intelligent, is not going anywhere. We're helping you to get started with AI as beginners, cryptocurrency, and even digital marketing. We encourage you once again to come and get rich with us because you're definitely going to love it here. Now get back with the person who invited you, who shared this with you. Let them know what you like most about what you heard and go ahead and get their unique link so you can get started. Don't miss an opportunity of a lifetime to get to the right side of the wealth transfer. God bless you. We love you. We'll see you soon.